Wassel, it's Jay from ARIYA here. I'd like to talk about something important today, something that I see over and over, and that is loads of people, thousands of people putting a lot of effort into their self-development and getting pretty much nowhere, or the results are not really what they could be or not really that satisfying, even though they've spent thousands of dollars or pounds and hours reading and studying and practicing. So obviously that can be really disheartening, and if that's you, if that's what you've been through or going through, you'll know exactly what I mean. There is an answer to why this happens, and the answer is that us right now who are trying to study and trying to master themselves are actually put in quite an unfair position comparing to the scholars in the past, because ultimately, if you want to achieve mastery, you need a master. You need someone to look up to, someone who would show you at least the first steps as you're training yourself, as you're trying to find your path, and someone who would, by their own example, inspire you for greatness. Because a master and a student relationship is very special and very sacred. And most people are completely robbed of this experience right now. So a master is not just a teacher, is not just a trainer. It's someone who would love you and care after you unconditionally, just like your parents would. But unlike your parents, it's someone who could deliver probably things that your parents may not be able to teach you, because not always your parents are in the position to show you the path that you want to trod, because obviously everyone is different. So their paths may not necessarily coincide with yours. And so a master is like a parent that you choose consciously. And it's someone who leads you first by the hand, and as you grow up, by example, to where you want to be, to the heights that they themselves have achieved through many years of training and studying and meditating. And to a degree, people who train martial arts have this kind of experience because they have someone they can call a master, although obviously quite often after the class is over, they just go home and that's it. It's very rare these days that you have a personal relationship with your teacher, someone who actually cares after you 24/7. So you know that if something happens, he or she will be there for you to advise and to help. And also another difficulty is that not having that example, not having that actual living person showing you how things could be done impedes your own progress, because it's much harder. It's like putting together a puzzle without seeing the picture beforehand. So you have no idea what the puzzle is supposed to be, and it's taking you like 10 times longer than it could otherwise. And this is what it's like. So I would encourage you to go out and look for a person who you could wholeheartedly call a master, not because some etiquette or protocol requires you to do so, but because that word would flow out of deeply felt respect for that person, and you would know that you would receive just as much love and respect back. So it is very, very important to find a teacher you can trust, and to find the right teacher who could help you unfold your abilities and inspire you for greatness. Over the centuries or thousands of years of any kind of spiritual development, and obviously now we call it spiritual development, but in the past people would call it different names like yoga or meditation or mystical pursuits. But essentially every time that topic came up, the old masters always said, find yourself a real teacher if you want to succeed. So it is fine if you have to trod your path on your own for a time, but ultimately try and find someone who you can trust to show you the way, and who has walked that way before you and has some results to show for it. This is all for today. It was Jay from ARIYA. Subscribe to my channel and hit that bell to receive notifications. Thank you again, and see you next time.